Okay, we're gonna look at the int formula. Now the int formula just basically takes the whole number, which is an integer part of a number, and ignores all the digits after the decimal. So it's basically gonna round up this number to its whole number. And the formula looks something like equals int, and in there you just put in the cell reference. So C3, and that will round it up to an integer, which is the whole number. Now, to display the formula, if you want to just display a formula, you just put a single apostrophe, as you can see, and it will show you the formula that you put in without the apostrophe. So use the apostrophe to display formulas. The next formula we're going to look at is count A function. So count A looks at the cells within a given range and counts the number of these cells that are not empty. So let's put this one here, equals COUNTA. It's giving me the option there for count A, so that's exactly what I want. Thank you. And let's put in the value. So we want to look at from the range of, let's look at an extra 2 that are empty. Okay, press enter, and it's basically saying there are 20 that are not empty. Now there are 2 empty ones that I also put in there. If you look at the cell range, I put it to B24. So there are 2 empty ones, but it's telling me about the ones that are not empty. The next formula we're going to look at is count if. Now count if looks at the cells within a given range and counts the number of these cells that meet a given condition. The condition is placed in the function and can be a number, a string, an inequality, or a cell reference. Now there are a number of ways the countif function can be used. I'm just going to show you one of them. So equals count if. Now it's giving me the option again, so we're going to select count if. Now it's asking me for the range. Now the range I want is from here to here, and then you put the comma to display what your criteria is. So I want it to tell me how many there are within that range that meet a certain condition. My condition is number 5. So how many of them have the number 5? Close it, enter. And it's telling me there's only one in that cell range that has the number 5, which is correct. Now say that I had another number 5 in there, and another number 5 in there. It's telling me there are 3 within that range that have the number 5. And the next function we're going to look at is the sum if function. Now the sum if looks at the cells within a given range and adds the total from those cells that meet a given condition. The condition is placed in the function and can be a number, a string, an inequality, or a cell reference. Like the countif function, there are a number of ways SUMIF can be used. Now, let me show you one of them. So here we were counting how many there were, how many 5s there were within that cell range. This time we're going to add all of those up. So again, if, put in the bracket. Now it's asking me for the range. Let's highlight my range, comma. And what's my criteria? I'm going to put the criteria in again, 5. So I want it to add up all the 5s. Close bracket. Now it should, because there are 3 5s, I know that because of the countif, it should give me 15. And it does. So it's just added up all of the, within that range, all of the cells that meet a certain condition. The next function we're going to look at is the if function. Now the if function looks at a given condition and performs an operation if the condition is met, or a different operation if the condition is not met. The operations could be simply placing a number or label in the cell. It could involve a reference to another cell, or it could involve a more complex calculation. So let's just say we've got 4 plus, and this, say that we've got a homework sheet here, and it's asking the student to add 4 plus 4 and put equals, right? And in here they are expected to put the answer. Now next to it we're going to say if it's wrong or right. The way we're going to do that is put an if function in there. So if cell reference, which is the logic test, so we're going to put the test in. If 08 equals, now we know the answer should be 8. So if it equals 8, if the value is true, we're going to put in answer is correct. And if it's not 8, it should display here answer is wrong. Now if you're going to put in a string, you do need to put in these quotation marks. So let me just close the brackets. Okay, so we've got it there because there's nothing in there right now. So if we put the number 8, answer is correct. And say we had a number in there, 3, answer is wrong. So it's already testing if the right answer is in there or not. So it is a really useful function, one of my personal favorites.